matter of fact, the very same types of weapons that are attacking the people of Ukraine are attacking the people of Myanmar, and they come from the same source. They come from Russia, as well as other countries. So there's a lot of common ground here. But what is not common ground is the way the international community has responded. I mean, it mystifies many people. Most people in Myanmar, it mystifies me. But the fact is that the United Nations did in 4 days what the people of Myanmar are waiting for now 22 months later after this coup. Now, I have been very critical, very open in my criticisms of the United Nations, that this should be taken up by the Security Council. There should be a special session of the General Assembly. There should be sanctions imposed, tough targeted sanctions imposed on the junta. The sources of revenue that are fueling this machine, this war machine that's killing innocent people must be stopped. Now, I've been told when I made these criticisms by some ambassadors that, well, there's a difference. Now, here you have a sovereign country being attacked by another country, a gross violation of the UN Charter. So we must respond in kind. And I said, I understand, but that distinction is lost on the people of Myanmar. They are being held captive, they're hostages to what is tantamount to a foreign military power that has occupied their nation. The UN could help facilitate a process whereby the international community, the nations, beginning with the nations that have expressed support and sympathy for the people of Myanmar, can manifest that not in the kind of uncoordinated, strategic way that they're doing now. There are 41 different types of sanctions, for example, by dozens of different countries. There's certain types of embargoes of certain weapons or weapons technology or dual-use technology. What is required is a coordinated strategic approach in which all of these actions add up into a coherent whole, in which there's an analysis, and I'm very happy to help provide that analysis of where those applications of sanctions and pressure can be most effective, where the junta is most vulnerable. I think we need to continue to press the point. Now, again, there has been some progress, and I want to make sure that we recognize those states that are willing to make some progress. Some states are actively engaging the national unity government. There are national unity government officials and operations that are existing and functioning in countries around the world. So the dialogue is in the process of opening up. There's more dialogue every day. And so I think this is we have some traction here. There's engagement here that I think is very important and that we need to build on. I think number one, they can take a lead in recognizing this fraud that the junta is trying to pull off next year in its announced quote unquote elections. They could recognize early that these are not elections by any stretch of the imagination and should be rejected as such. There should be no support in any way provided to this fraud that's being perpetuated. So I think that's a very important step, number one. Number two, as you mentioned, there are important economic connections between many states in the region and the world and the junta. That creates an opportunity. These states have a well-positioned to make a significant impact on the revenue flow and the capacity of the junta to continue its atrocities by making steps toward targeted sanctions and the cutting off of revenue flows. Now, some states have taken important steps. As you mentioned, I was in Korea. They've established an arms embargo. They've established strict controls on dual-use technology. So they are, they've also, by the way, announced, I think this is very important, particularly in the region, that no Myanmar national in Korea will be sent back to Myanmar under any circumstances, given the danger. That's extremely important. Just a few weeks ago, Malaysia deported over 100 Myanmar nationals back to Myanmar. And it's just absolutely outrageous, including in that group of defectors. But everyone from Myanmar is in grave danger, whether they're in the country or out of the country, and under no circumstances should any country be sending back anyone from Myanmar. We should be supporting them. We should providing increased aid and support to those who are out of the country. We as an international community should be aiding and supporting those countries who are providing the support. The countries you mentioned have significant economic resources. They could be playing an even increased role with respect to support of those outside the country and humanitarian aid to those inside the country. So there is important opportunities for all of the countries of the region. We all have a stake as human beings in what is going on in Myanmar. And the people who are exhibiting the courage, the tenacity, the resilience that is truly awe-inspiring inside the country deserve our full support. So for those who are inside of Myanmar, on the front lines of the struggle, we are with you. And for those who are suffering inside of Myanmar due to these horrific conditions, we are with you. You have friends. And while it is frustrating, very frustrating, to see the pace of the glacial pace of the support and responsibility of the United Nations and the international community, know that you have people working with and for you to make absolutely certain that maybe not tomorrow, but one day, justice and human rights will prevail inside of Myanmar because of you and all that you are doing, and because the international community finally meets its responsibility to support you.